Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the regular council meeting for the City of Dauphin for April 15th, 2024. We'll call the meeting to order at 4:59, and we will, just before we get started, the mayor is online, just not feeling 100% today, so you get to deal with me, Deputy Mayor Christian Laughlin, chairing this meeting. So we wish Mayor Boziak all the best when it comes to getting back from being a little ill. Before we get started, we'd like to acknowledge that the land on which we gather is Treaty 2 land, traditional territory of Anishinaabe, Cree, Oji Cree, Assiniboine, Dakota, and Dene peoples, and homeland of the Métis Nation. And we affirm our commitment to moving forward in partnership with Indigenous communities in a spirit of collaboration and reconciliation. Moved by Councillor Sobering, seconded by Councillor Daly. Be it resolved that the regular council meeting agenda be amended as follows. We've got two additions. Under number 5A, we'll add a proclamation there. That is Human Values Day. And 6D, number 2, bylaw enforcement officer for the month of March 2024. And one deletion as well. That is 9B, the offer to purchase lot 12 in the Dauphin Business Park. I'm assuming no questions or comments regarding those additions and deletions. So with that being said, all those in favor? Any opposed? None? Carried. Moved by Councillor Ray, seconded by Councillor Daly. Be it resolved the council accepts the regular council meeting agenda now as amended. And no questions or comments there. All in favor? And approved. Moved by Councillor Sobering, seconded by Councillor Ray. Be it resolved that council waives the reading and accepts and approves as circulated the minutes of the following meeting. That's the meeting from back on March 25th, the regular council meeting, that is. Any questions or comments regarding those minutes? Seeing none, we'll call the question. All in favor? Any opposed? None? Carried. Next, we'll move to the consent agenda. Number of action items. We've got multiple proclamations today. We're not going to read any. We're just going to quickly mention them, though. If anyone would like to view them, they are in the lobby area here at City Hall. First, be it resolved that Council proclaims April 21st to the 27th, 2024 as Invasive Species Awareness Week. Second, be it resolved that Council proclaims April 22nd, 2024 as Earth Day. Third, be it resolved that Council proclaims April 24th, 2024 as Human Values Day. And lastly, be it resolved that Council proclaims April 28th, 2024 as a National Day of Mourning, and that as recommended by the Mayor and the City Manager. We'll move to outstanding water accounts which are added to taxes. Be it resolved that the following water accounts have been added to taxes. 215 Main Street North, $3,170.33. That is because the owner did not pay their current utility bill / multi-tenant dwelling. 2001 2175 Mountain Road, owner did not pay a current utility bill. That's for $2,977.73. And on 111 6th Avenue Southeast, the owner did not pay the final water bill there. That's $412.06. That all totals up to $6,560.12. And that as recommended by the Director of Finance and the Utility Clerk. A few other items under the consent agenda report. Be it resolved that Council recognizes the following events as community events upcoming later on this year. We've got one actually this weekend, the Kin Business Expo, April 20th and 21st, Canada's National Ukrainian Festival Kickoff Party on June the 8th, Dauphin Agricultural Society Fair, June 28th to the 30th, Parkland Chamber of Commerce Annual Street Fair, August 1st, Canada's National Ukrainian Festival Parade is August 3rd. The festival itself for Canada's National Ukrainian Festival is August 2nd to the 4th this year. And of course, Dauphin's Country Fest, June 28th to the 30th. And lastly, some filing items. The Canadian National Railway Dangerous Goods Transported in 2023 and the annual Vegetation Management Program. Under number 2, Manitoba News Releases, Environment and Climate Change, new board appointed for Efficiency Manitoba, and Premier Plastic Health Cards. Actually, I should go back to the Environment and Climate Change Canada because I believe Councillor Sobering was appointed to that. So congratulations on your appointment.
Yeah, thanks, Deputy Mayor.
Yeah, awesome. Number 3, Minister of Environment and Climate Change Waste Reduction and Recycling Support Program. Number 4, Community Futures Parkland newsletter for April. And number 5, Prairie Mountain Health, their Health Plus newsletter for April as well. And that all is recommended by the mayor and the city manager. So with that being said, moved by Councillor Daly, seconded by Councillor Stakilo, be it resolved that all items listed and read under item 5 consent agenda be approved and form part of these minutes. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, we'll call the question. All in favor? Any opposed? None. Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Stakilo, seconded by Councillor Ray. Be it resolved that council accepts as information the following corporate report for the April 15th regular council meeting for the city manager. This is for March. Any questions or comments regarding the city manager's report? Seeing none, we'll call the questions then. All in favor? Any opposed? None. Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Ray, seconded by Councillor Sobering. Be it resolved that council accepts as information the following corporate report for April 15th's regular council meeting. That is for the deputy city manager for March. Any questions or comments regarding that one? Seeing none, call the questions. All in favor? And none opposed? Carried. Moved by Councillor Stakilo, seconded by Councillor Daly. Be it resolved that council accepts as information the following corporate report for the April 15th regular council meeting, this time the ICT manager for March. Any questions or comments there? Yes, Councillor Bellemare.
I just wanted to say that I think it's wonderful that Justin has been identified as a person who's going to be investigating some climate strategies for our community. So we've talked about them, but it's nice to see that someone is actually got that part of their work portfolio. So thank you.
Indeed. Any other questions, comments for the ICT manager's report? Seeing none, we'll call the questions. All in favor? None opposed. Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Stakilo, seconded by Councillor Ray. Be it resolved that the finance accounts have been examined by council and be hereby authorized and approved as follows. Check totals. This is ranging from 32,950 to 33,038. That's 89 checks, totaling in $454,781.72. There were no voided checks in the current range, no voided checks in past ranges, and there were 6 electronic payments in the month of March, totaling $187,885.70. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, we'll call the questions. All in favor? None opposed? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Bellemare, seconded by Councillor Sobering. Be it resolved that council accepts as information the following staff engineering report for tonight's regular council meeting. That is the building inspector report for last month, March. Big one in there. Any questions or comments regarding it? Seeing none, we'll call the question. All in favor? Motion carried. We'll let people do some digging if they want to find out why I said the word big. Moved by Councillor Ray, seconded by Councillor Daly. Be it resolved that council accepts as information the following protective services reports for tonight's regular council meeting. This of the animal control officer for February and March. Any questions or comments regarding this report? Seeing none, we'll call the question. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Stakilo, seconded by Councillor Daly. Be it resolved that council accepts as information the following protective services report for tonight's regular council meeting. This time the bylaw enforcement officer for March. Any questions or comments here? Seeing none, call the question. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Sobering, seconded by Councillor Ray. Be it resolved that council accepts as information the minutes and a report from the following committees. Number 1, Communities in Bloom had their regular committee meeting back on February 22nd. Number 2, a couple meetings and a report for Fort Dauphin Museum. They had their regular board meeting on the 14th of March, and their manager's report handed in on April the 3rd. And lastly, Dauphin Vet Services District regular board meeting on March 22nd. Any questions or comments regarding those items? Seeing none, call a question. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Bellemare, seconded by Councillor Sobering. Be it resolved, the council accepts as information a Manitoba news release dated April 2nd, 2024, outlining the government of Manitoba's 2024 budget, which identifies a Centre for Justice in Dauphin as a priority budget investment. And further, be it resolved, the council accepts as information correspondence dated April 12th, 2024, from Todd Clark, the Assistant Deputy Minister of Justice, noting that the government of Manitoba will fund the scoping, designing, and consulting for this Centre of Justice project in Dauphin, and that the Correctional Services Division will work collaboratively with the Courts Division and Manitoba Prosecutions, as well as community stakeholders, to begin work on this initiative in the coming months. Exciting news. Any questions or comments want to be made there? Seeing none, we'll call a question. All in favor? Motion carried. It's pretty tough to have any not in favors on that one. Moved by Councillor Ray, seconded by Councillor Daly. Be it resolved that council approves the revised terms of reference for the Workplace Safety and Health Committee, which removes councillor representation on that committee. Any questions or comments there? Seeing none, we'll call a question. All in favor? Any opposed? None. Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Sobering, seconded by Councillor Ray, whereas the City of Dauphin posted a request for proposals for the 2024 Road Improvement Program back on March 21st, 2024. That closed back on April the 4th. Be it resolved that Council accepts as information a memorandum dated April 5th, 2024 from the Engineering Services Supervisor outlining the 4 proposals received for the 2024 Road Improvement Program, and recommending the following contractor be awarded the work, and that is Sterling Enterprises, for a total proposal of $657,716 even, no cents there, plus applicable taxes. And further, be it resolved that council agrees with the Engineering Services Supervisor's recommendation and authorizes the 2024 Road Improvement Program contract to be awarded to Sterling Enterprises for a cost of that $657,716 plus applicable taxes. Any questions or comments there? Seeing none, we'll call the question. All in favor? Any opposed? None. Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Daly, seconded by Councillor Stakilo. Be it resolved that council accepts as information correspondence dated March 16th, 2024, from Cam Bennett, Dauphin and District Allied Arts Council Board Chairperson, and Peter Nadolny, Watson Arts Center Coordinator, outlining the DDAAC's projected facility expenses and requesting a 2024 appropriation in the amount of $42,057.21, which represents an inflationary increase of 3.5% over 2023. And further, be it resolved that council forwards the Dauphin District Allied Arts Council's financial request to the 2024 budget deliberations. Any questions or comments there? Didn't think so. We'll call the question. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Ray, seconded by Councillor Sobering, whereas the Association of Manitoba Municipalities solicits resolutions from municipalities to help them determine priority issues for lobbying activities and policies. Be it resolved that the Council of the City of Dauphin sponsors the following Category 1 municipal issue resolutions to be reviewed by the AMM Resolutions Committee and then forwarded to the AMM Annual Convention in November of 2024. This one's titled Tax Exemption for All Municipality-Owned Land Containing Critical Municipal Infrastructure. I'll skip through the whereases, but I'll read the therefore be it resolved that the AMM lobby the province of Manitoba to amend the Municipal Assessment Act to exempt municipally owned property containing critical municipal infrastructure. Does anybody want to talk about it? No? Okay, we'll call a question then. All in favor? Any opposed? None. Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Sobering, seconded by Councillor Bellemare. Be it resolved that bylaw 02/2024, being a bylaw of the City of Dauphin, amending zoning bylaw 04/2015 to allow for construction of a 104 space childcare center with exterior recreation and off-street parking area, be now read a first time. Anyone want to make any comments regarding this change before we vote? Okay, we'll call the question. All in favor? Any opposed? None. Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Stakilo, seconded by Councillor Ray. Be it resolved the council accepts as information the following invitations. The first one, Community Futures Parkland. They're having their senior housing solutions on April 22nd, 2024. And number 2, Mountain View School Division is a community reconciliation workshop. That's going down on May the 24th. And further be it resolved that all expenses related to council and senior management attending these events be borne by the City of Dauphin. Any questions or comments? None. Call the question. All in favor? None opposed. Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Stakilo, seconded by Councillor Sobering. Be it resolved the council accepts as information the councillors' reports for the regular council meeting of tonight, April 15th, 2024. I will start tonight. We'll do the onlines last. We'll go to my right, Councillor Daly, if you are ready.
I am sort of. Thank you, Deputy Mayor Laughlin. March 25th, attended the last regular council meeting here in Chambers. On April 1st, I attended a presentation in Brandon at the concert hall put on by what was called Street Stories. It's a project of Arch. It's a federally funded program to work on the reduction of homelessness. So it was a very interesting project. It was a very interesting presentation, and Arch has come up with a number of interesting projects that are really, I think, well suited to assist people who are vulnerable. And I sent an email around to everyone sort of outlining what those were. I'll continue to monitor with Brandon over the next month or so to see how they're making it with those projects and see what we can do to advocate to get those going here. On April the 5th, the mayor and I met with Jennifer Niepenak on Truth and Reconciliation training proposal. There'll be further discussion on that, I think, either later tonight or next week. I'm not sure, Mr. Mayor, about that. Very interesting meeting and a tremendous proposal. On April 10th, 11th, attended the AMM in Brandon, and it was probably a better networking trip than it was necessarily anything on the agenda, but it was definitely worth the trip. That's my report. Thanks.
Thank you, Councillor Daly. Councillor Ray.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Laughlin. March 25th, I attended the last regular council meeting via Teams. April 3rd, I attended the Rec Committee meeting at the CUP. On the 4th, I attended the Community Safety Wellbeing Teams meeting with CCFSC. On April 10th and 11th, I was also in attendance at AMM in Brandon. And finally, just a comment that the City Jazz Concert Band will be performing at the WAC on May 7th. So I just wanted to put that out there. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Councillor Ray. We'll go online now since her seat is technically next. Councillor Bellemare.
All right, thank you. For council work on March 26th, I had coffee with the executive director of the Parkland Library, Allison. We had several matters that we needed to review. And also on the 26th, I attended the Watson board meeting. 27th, did a community safety and well-being meeting on Teams. April 2nd and 3rd, I participated in collective bargaining with one of our unions. On the 26th of March, went to Northgate Trails with the Toboggan Committee, and Adrian, who was one of the people that helped design the trails with Alex Mann, led the walk, and he was sharing Indigenous perspectives with us during this time. So that was a very thoughtful event to participate in. And just kind of a bit of a related but not related to counseling, I attended an online veggie gardening session to the University of Saskatchewan. And I found out about that through Winnipeg Free Press newsletter. Anyway, so for gardeners in our community who are concerned about the inconsistent rainfall that we've been receiving, I really encourage you to check out the resources. So I have plans this year for my garden to be no-till, which is brand new. And so I'm hoping I won't end up watering my garden like a crazy person like I have been for the last few years, because water inconsistency is certainly an issue for farmers, for communities in bloom, and for our home gardeners. So if you want more information about this, get in touch with me. I'll be at Chip and Soil Day on March 25th. I have a great website to share with people. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Bellemare. We'll keep going around the horn here, and I'll actually read my report right now. It's a fairly short, but on March 25th, I attended the regular council meeting at City Hall. April 1st, I was at that marathon MJHL Game 6 between the Kings and OCN. 5 overtimes, 8 periods total. Didn't get out of there till well after midnight. It was fun to be a part of. Some would argue it's kind of history. Went that late. I don't know if the MJHL has record of actually the longest game in history, but I'm sure that one was probably it or very close to being it. But nonetheless, too bad the Kings couldn't win that series, but they did win that game. So good luck to them next season. A couple days after that, April 2nd and 3rd, employee relations meetings, which saw a bunch of contract discussions throughout those 2 days. And just want to mention a couple upcoming events as well. I mentioned it earlier. There's the Kin Business Expo this weekend, so make sure you head down to Credit Union Place, the Parkland Rec Complex, and take that in. And going on tomorrow, the Chamber's actually hosting their State of the District event at the Watson Arts Center. So a couple events to look forward to this week. And that ends my report. And I know student counselor Kashowski was on spring break, so she doesn't have too much to report on. So we'll give her a pass this week. But thanks for coming today. So I'll move to Councillor Stakilo.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. For myself, March 25th, regular council meeting. On April 3rd, the rec board meeting, was in attendance for that. And I too joined Councillor Daly and Councillor Ray along with staff at the AMM Spring Convention on April 10th and 11th in Brandon. And as Councillor Daly remarked, it was a good networking event and a good opportunity to converse with other municipalities and hear what's going on and their concerns. And nice to see some familiar faces and meet some new people there. And with that, that ends my report.
Thank you. And Councillor Sobering.
Thanks, Deputy Mayor Lachlan. I attended the March 25th regular council meeting here. In the meantime, I didn't attend any evening meetings, but I have been doing a lot of committee meetings regarding Handyvan. There's always challenges to be met, and the Riverside Cemetery digital transformation, we were working on some mapping, so that's moving along very nicely. I did attend a stakeholder engagement evening at Opsley Brewing Co. on the 10th. It was basically an evening put on by Urban Systems to consult with the neighboring businesses and stakeholders, including the Watson Arts Center, the city-owned thing, and organizations, to just see if we can reimagine what that space would look like, given the millions of dollars of development that's going to be invested over the next couple of years. And it's probably a great opportunity to shift the course of the city in a positive way. And outside of that, I was not in attendance at the AMM convention, but I did receive a appointment, which was mentioned earlier, to the board of Efficiency Manitoba, where I used to be an employee. And I'm really excited to actually be appointed to that board. Minister Tracy Schmidt is the minister who is in charge of that part of, it's part of her portfolio. But yeah, the province has a very exciting mandate for that organization. And I think we could see some really timely changes, and it's going to be a real positive impact for the province and the environment, I believe. So that ends my report.
Thank you. And finally, Mayor Boziak.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Laughlin. I was fortunate enough to be invited to the provincial budget announcement on April the 2nd in Winnipeg. And so, you know, in addition to being there and hearing the Minister Sala's budget comments, it was also an opportunity to speak with our MLA, Ron Kostitian, several other ministers, and had a quick chat with the Premier, and so a good opportunity for us. And obviously, the news about the Justice Center was very welcome and was acknowledged during the summary of the budget, and then in the follow-up correspondence with them. So that all bodes very well, I believe, for our future here in Dauphin. I too just also attended the AMM convention and also attended the Cities Caucus on the front day, and I concur with Councillor Daly and Councillor Stakilo on the sense that AMM was a great opportunity to discuss some issues and concerns with other mayors and councillors from other municipalities. But I would like to note and just state on the record that it seemed that there was a huge predominance of sessions and information related to strategies for tense times and building a healthy council and CAO communication, and things like trust talks and repairing and strengthening workplace communication and exploring team dysfunction and best practices for municipal officials, and it just seems that AMM as an organization is challenged a bit, I guess, with trying to help municipalities that seem to be dysfunctional or unable to communicate and cooperate between their staff and council, and further probably to their ratepayers and taxpayers in their areas. And so I just would like to say again how this particular council and our current executive officers and staff, that I want to state that our relationship is very positive and that we work well together, and that we probably as a community are quite fortunate to be able to focus on the issues at hand and the work that needs to be done and not be distracted by dysfunction or lack of communication or cooperation between players. So that was one thing that I took away from attending AMM, was how many different times I heard of councillors and leaders from other municipalities being challenged by getting their work done because of relationship issues within their councils and or within their municipalities. So we're very fortunate, and I will continue to work as hard as I can to maintain the positive relationship we have with our staff and between council, because I think that, considering our relationship to the provincial government and the good work that all council members are doing in their committees, that we've got some really bright time ahead for us as a community. So that's it for now. Thank you, Deputy Mayor Laughlin.
Thank you, Mayor Boziak. With that being said, we'll call the question for the councilors' reports. All in favor? Unopposed? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Bellemare, seconded by Councillor Ray. Be it resolved that the council meeting now be recessed at 5:28. Thanks for watching, and